Got that I was... actually, okay, perfect. Alright, let's keep it like this. This should be... I mean, actually, okay, let me just fix it. It's very easy to fix. What's the only thing that's wrong is that the only thing wrong is that I was still set up for Leifang Cup, but I actually had it over the top of actual StarCraft, so it's actually okay, perfect. All right, let's go into the top left-hand side of the map. It's our red Protoss player, I believe, actually currently still teamless. It is Welmu. His opponent down to the bottom left from Team Liquid is going to be the blue Zerg player. Let's hear it, guys, if you're cheering on Vortix. What's up, Volts? How are you doing today? Vortix versus Welmu Hype. Yes, indeed. I know. It's very, very cool match for the first round. It's kind of a shame that one of these guys is actually going to drop to the first round of the losers bracket and is going to have to play like 20 best of threes to try and qualify. It's a really unfortunate draw for both of them. I mean, it has to happen to someone. To be fair, a lot of the second round matches are very, very crazy as well. I mean, we've got people like Ephemeral versus Bunny as the second round match and things like that, you know. So it's not like it's you know, it's kind of like a little bit crazy, but it's got to happen to someone, and it's not like it makes too much of a difference. I mean, so many players in the EU region are so good that these top, tough, difficult matches are going to be happening from the very start, and that's something we just got to kind of, you know, everyone just knows it's going to happen, and sometimes you're a bit unlucky and get one around earlier, but at the same time, you're still going to have to, when there's only 2 slots, you're going to have to go through so many players anyway. You're going to have to go through so many people to realistically make it through to DreamHack Austin, so it doesn't make much of a difference, I don't think. What's up, StarCraft Sam? How are you doing today? And Smonkers in the chat saying, cast the brothers as much as you can, please. Yeah, I'll try. Thanks for letting me know who you want to see casted. It's always nice to know who you guys are interested in seeing. As we see this probe, just backing away now. Third hatchery is on the way down for Vortix. I'm just going to be setting up over here. And, yeah, Fed Hatch is going to be setting up. We've got a Zealot out for Welmu. Actually kind of interesting to see a Zealot super early on, I guess, because Zealot's just going to be something which is, well, yeah, I guess to kind of apply a little bit of pressure, but it's not something we often see nowadays in the matchup early on. So, kind of interesting as we are going to see. Oh, that probe goes down to 1 Zergling. Well, we're fairly confident there that the Adept was going to clean it up in time. Was just a little bit too slow. As the Zealot comes in, going to be chasing that Queen. A few drones going to get pulled off the line. A little bit of damage already being done here by this first Zealot. Actually going to get a drone kill. So, Vortix, pretty good micro there. Just kind of pulling one of those drones away a little bit too late. As the first Adept going to come in and just going to be hunting down the... just going to be hunting down a couple of drones. So, going to look for a couple of kills. Nice spore crawlers though. And that keeps him alive there as the Adept does get caught and surrounded. And as we're going to see Stargate on the way up. Now, of course, this is all arena, which means it's a very aggressive map in terms of, in the early game, you can move across here very early on and really get some damage done in the early stages of the game. So, there's something we've got to kind of keep an eye out for as the Mothership Core does pick off a Zergling pushing towards the front. And, well, as Vortix comes over here, he spots another gateway or two coming down. I mean, Welmu's just walling off completely at this point, just setting himself up very safely in towards the Zelda mid-game right here. So nothing really too crazy about any of that. His Stargate does finish, and he's going to start up an Oracle, as he's got a Cybercore here, and I'm just going to see this Overlord just pulling away a little bit over towards the upside. He's already seen the Stargate, so he's just going to pull away, and if it isn't a Phoenix, which it isn't, it's an Oracle. If it isn't a Phoenix, it means this sort of Overlord will be able to stay alive if he gets it back into this sort of area here. That being said, it's very rare that we see a Stargate without Phoenix at all. Even if we see this Oracle, we do oftentimes see Phoenix follow it up, although, well, maybe he skips it. I mean, it's, actually, now I say that, now I think about it, maybe not so much. I mean, we definitely can see Phoenix after an Oracle, but at the same time, an Oracle does a lot of the sort of scouting which a Phoenix does, and sometimes we do see players just skip it to go straight into that Immortal-based production, that Immortal-based composition towards the mid-stages of the game. See what Welmu wants to go for. He's got a few Adepts which have just kind of come across the map. They're just going to sit in this little choke point here. They could shade forwards and see if anything is going on, and probably just cancel when they see how many Zerglings there are. He actually is going to hide the Zerglings over to the right-hand side. Is he going to force them to commit? Welmu's a little bit too good for that. He knows that there's got to be Zerglings here. He knows Vortix is... I mean, we've been in, what, Legacy of the Void for, for 5-6 months now. I mean, it's at this point where these players, they know that Adepts are going to be here. They know they can't just go without any units at all. They know they need these Zerglings out. So Welmu knows, that Vortix knows, and because of that he just doesn't commit even though he doesn't see the Zerglings. So we are going to see that probe being saved, as we'll see Welmu looking to take his third Nexus, so that's going to be coming down here. We're going to see another gas being taken, and the Rotoron for Vortix is about to finish up as well. So as the Oracle pops back in, just going to be taking down another couple of drones here. There's actually going to be 3 more drones killed, although that does lose a lot of health. Gotten very low there at the very end. Yeah, I mean, sort of just at the end of this, Welmu just sort of, there's a little bit of help from the Oracle, but no real issues. You see a couple of robo facilities dropping down, and Welmu just setting up in towards this mid-game once again. As these Zerglings to just nibble their way through these rocks. Going to be moving up towards the upper side of the map, and of course, this is kind of where you really see the mid-game kicking in on Lorena, where the Zerg player begins to get access to more than just one single attack path. That being said, I mean, in general, this is one of the maps where if you do survive early, you can generally survive for quite a long time in this game, but, well, that early stage hasn't gone just yet. There's lots of queens here, roaches pouring out, and no more drones being made by Vortix. Really does look as though he's going to be going across the map with kind of roach laying queen here over the next couple of moments, and looking to get some damage done. So he's going to be pushing up through the center of the map, it seems, in the next minute or two, and we'll be looking to come on in here and look to see what you can get done. This Oracle going to be going in towards the main base, so Oracle going to be coming over here and just trying to get a little bit of worker damage, perhaps, potentially. I'm going to see the Ravagers morphing in. Here we go, this Ling Ravager Queen army moving upwards towards the bases of Welmu. This is everything he's been preparing for. He's got lots of sentries, but of course that doesn't help too much against Ravagers and their corrosive bowels. Them floating overcharges don't do anything just yet. There's a nice couple of force fields though, and before the corrosive bowels can pop those force fields, we see them 3 Ravagers going down. And his Immortal's going to help out a lot in this defense. We're going to see a couple more Ravagers coming in, and we're going to see Welmu just continue to pull back, getting away from them bowels once again. A few more Depths warp in here. The Queen's starting to kind of close the distance. The Ravagers being transfused where possible. We're going to see Welmu kind of running out of units up here, and his Immortal's going to be in a lot of trouble as well as he kind of runs out of space to run away with them. His Immortal pops out, a third one, but it's all the way in the back, so they can't add on to anything just yet. And it looks as though this Queen Roach Ravager push is going to be more than enough to push on through and to secure game number 1 here for Vortix in this best of 3 round of, I don't even know how many rounds we've got in this bracket today, round of 64 perhaps? Might even be round of 128. It is just crazy how large this bracket is, and it's double elimination too, remember guys, as you do see the Crucifers dropping once again and just playing out a couple of these pylons, so these are going to go down, and well, the Ravager's going to keep on trading, the Queen's going to keep on trading, he's unpowering these robo facilities. Wow, that Immortal is on 39 out of 39. Not that I don't think it would have made any difference. GG. It's a little bit cold. So enjoy the loading screen and whoever we end up watching for a moment or two here. Of course, when I take a bite not on camera, it doesn't go all over like the first bite I took. Okay. Hashtag unprofessional stream. Eating during the cast. Oh my god. It's going to be a long day. I need my sandwich. So top right, our Red Pros player is going to be none other than Welmu. And to the bottom left, our Blue Zerg player from Team Liquid will be Vortix. Playing in his liquid blue. Let's see how he does here today in this qualifier. I mean, 1 game up already. Pretty, I suppose in a lot of ways, sort of an expected opening, an expected play style on Arena. That Ravager Ling Queen push has been something which a lot of people have talked about. A lot of people have said, hey, this is just so good. And on a map like Arena, when you move across so early, it doesn't, you know, the first force fields were great. Welmu was really cutting off those, you know, those Ravagers quite nicely. The problem is, though, I mean, you got to keep replacing those force fields. It's taking a lot of force fields to cover a large area. And the force fields run out very quickly, and then you're stuck with a set of sentries with no energy on them, which really doesn't add anything at all to your army. Which is, of course, far from ideal. So, that's sort of sadly what we sort of ended up with there. As we're going to see this probe just patrolling back and forth here on the mineral line on the 3rd base. So Overlord just coming in from Vortix and just see that probe, and just going to be keeping an eye out for it as we have the Overlord to the upper right, or moving towards the upper right. We've got a cybernetics core coming down from Welmu. And we're just going to see very standard openings from both then, as we see the Nexus on the way, and nothing weird at all about this. The only kind of thing is that Vortix would probably like to put down a third hatchery soon, and he is actually going to seek a drone around the side as soon as Welmu's probe comes in, and he's going to be able to get that third hatch down without being delayed at all. So, perfect. I'm going to see the probe moving away, pulling up towards the upper right-hand side, and just looking to see what it can get up to. So a little bit of a passive opening as we wait to get set up here very early on. That mug though, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's if you look at it close up, it's like the logo's like a little bit off because it was like my dad made it, like it's like literally homemade. So it's kind of cool. It's actually really cool. It looks really awesome. But it was his first attempt at doing something like it, so it's like it's a little bit off, but it's still cool. Like on stream, it looks perfect, you know. So really cool. I love it. So yeah, that's cool. You're wearing your shirt, Arius? Yeah, also I saw it. It looks good, man. I'm wearing my shirt too. Shirt buddies. Play, watch, learn. Should probably start using that phrase. Put it in my YouTube videos and stuff. As we see, the Adept is going to be moving forwards here. Again, we got a 3-minute delay, guys, so a little bit of a slow one. What's up, Sericatal 1? How are you doing? What is that? It's even my sandwich. It's a bacon and mushroom sandwich. It's very good. But we've got to forget about it until the end of this game now. As we see, a couple of extra gates coming down. So once again, the Stargate play from Welmu, but Stargate into Phoenix this time, not the Oracle. So a little bit of a different approach from Welmu. As he comes out with the Stargate, with the Phoenix, and just going to start working his way through this Overlord. As these Zerglings going to be pushing forwards and looking to see what they can get up to. But they're going to be denied. I mean, a Zealot in the wall and a Adept behind. Not really very much here, which Vortix can really achieve. As we're going to see the things getting ready to come up this ramp once again. Overlord is going to go down. I'm going to see a couple of spore crawlers being made as well. As we've got a another Overlord on the way up. An Extractor going to be taken. And yeah, just spores on the way. I mean, nothing really too interesting from Vortix just yet. We're not seeing him go into a lair yet. We are seeing him going back into gas mining now. He's already got the Zergling speed, but that's pretty much all he's got from gas so far this game. So, just going to wait for him to set up once again here. Into more gas and probably hit a lair and maybe a roach run sometime soon as well for safety's sake if he feels he needs it. I mean, there is a few Adepts out, but maybe the pure Zergling numbers will deal with it. Actually, there is going to be the Baneling nest, so we're going to see maybe a Hydra Baneling composition here from Vortix. Something which is becoming more and more popular here in the ZVP matchup. We've seen it so much lately. We saw it like once or twice. Like 2 weeks ago we'd seen it once or twice, and in this past week we have seen it just a ridiculous amount. And obviously the Balins early on help you deal with the earlier debt pressure. You can then go into some Balin drops and harass a bit if you want, but the main goal is to head up in towards the Hydra Den and just hit a big Hydra Bane time. And even on Dusk Towers it can work out very nicely. Even attacking up this third base ramp, it can work out for you. As one of them sentries gets warped in quickly, the other gets warped in slowly. As these Phoenix coming across just find themselves a drone, and obviously just going to keep looking around, making sure that Queen stays next to the Spore Crawler. Another set of spores on the way down just to keep Vortix very safe here. So by committing into a second set of Spore Crawlers, we should really not see Welmu getting much damage done with these Phoenix at all. This is one of these scenarios where you can, there's two ways to deal with Phoenix in low numbers like this. Either you make one Spore Crawler per base, and you'll take a little bit of damage, or you make two Spore Crawlers per base, and you really shouldn't take any damage at all. So, obviously, it costs a bit more, but it's, it costs a bit more, but it comes at the extra safety. So, see, I mean, right now, the Phoenix have killed, what, 350 resources of units? That's not a lot. I mean, of course, there's only 4 Phoenix, but still, it's not a lot. I mean, Phoenix are these units which usually run around and kill so much throughout the game, so not much being killed at all here. And I mean, obviously he's going to get a drone or two here and there, but look how quick that Phoenix starts to fall, so can't really do it too often. Welmu just setting up back at home, a couple more gates on the way. His rowboat is up and he starts building out an Observer. Plus one also on the way from him, just again some upgrades. That Hydra Den coming in from Vortix. Bane speed on the way, Muscular Augment should start here. He actually starts an Infestation Pit almost straight away. So it looks as though he wants a very quick tech up into Hive or so. But we'll still be playing this kind of Hydra Baneling composition nonetheless. So, I mean, as we see this playstyle develop, we see more and more ways for it to play out. I mean, initially it was kind of a very aggressive timing. Nowadays we see more and more upgrades being involved in it. And now we even see it being used as just a composition in the mid game to take you through into the late game. So there's a lot of different things you see with it. Now this is the sort of thing that you shouldn't have happen when there is 2 spore crawlers on the map, which is things like Queens and Hydras being picked away at by these Phoenix. So that's a little bit of a shame, but again, I mean, 1 Hydra is not really game ending, as we see. Welmu, 6 gateways all the way up over here. He's got, well, they all just gateways, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it is. It just looks like so much more than 6 with these pylons at the bottom as well. 6 gates on the way up for him, and you're going to see a couple of Archons morphing in. He does have that Temple Archives up and ready to go, so getting a couple of Archons just setting up nicely. And, well, Vortix straight into Hive, straight into Spire, and he's just going to be looking to rush Broodlords here. So he's looking to just go straight into late game. And it's one of these situations where if Welmu doesn't figure out what's going on very early, if he doesn't figure out what's going on very early in this game, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble, because against Broodlords, you cannot realistically go into late game at all. You know, you can't realistically... You can go into late game, but you can't realistically fight them without going into your late game. There we go. And so that's something he's got to be, Welmu here, a little bit careful of. He's got to try and get that scout of what Vortix is doing. But right now, I mean, Infestation Pit hasn't been seen, Spire hasn't been seen, but he has seen the Hive morphing in, so he has some idea. Now, one thing he might just go for is he might just not commit to late game. He might just try and hit a very large timing before that time, when Vortix is obviously very weak because he's been very greedy, trying to rush out the Broodlord. So that kind of pre-Broodlord timing is what is building up here for Welmu. He's going to get set to come across the map now with a whole bunch of charge lots. He's got a fair few Archons. He's got a couple of Immortals. Not too many Immortals, though. And he will be looking to come in towards this. And well, Vortix knows he's got to prepare. He's got a lot of Spine Crawlers on the way up, just to help him sort of hold this position. He's got some Banelings too. His Great Spire about halfway done. Plenty of Hydralisks. I mean, well, Welmu, he doesn't have many sentries or anything. He's got a couple, but not too many. So these Spines will do a good job of kind of eating up some of the Zealot shots here initially, keeping them Hydras alive a little bit longer. Welmu sees the setup here, and well, does he commit to this? I think he does, because again, he doesn't have any preparation for Broodlords behind this. And so let's see what happens as these Banelings are going to start rolling in. Nice force fields to stop a lot of them Banelings coming in. Hydra's going to start lifting the Spines, doing an okay sort of job, but not doing too much here as well. We actually see all the Zealots going down, and attacking into those Spines may not have been the right decision, as we see the Archons going to start getting a little bit low. A few Corruptors are on the way out. Great Spire is very close to finishing. Nice kill on the Warp Prism. Vortix sniping that down means he's going to be able here to kind of, you know, stop further reinforcements kind of coming in. You see them Corruptors coming in, fighting against the Phoenix. These drones having to be pulled off the line. It looks as though, well, we just have a bit too much. He breaks the 4th base. Looks as though it's going kind of okay, actually, initially for Vortix, but in the end, maybe not so much. Although that being said, it's not over yet. 3 Broods are in the way, and he is actually going to push this back without reinforcements here. Vortix will be able to push Welmu away, and well, with Broodlords now, it's going to actually be a very long time until he can actually... Oh, that mothership core so low. It's going to now be a very long time until realistically... Welmu can actually fight against the Broodlords. So I guess Vortix has time to rebuild, but it's not going to be an easy position for him to rebuild from. We're going to see him breaking up here. A lot more Zealots once again, which are not going to do too much against the Broods, but it's not too many Broodlords. Only 3 so far, and well, maybe we can stay out on the map and maybe try and deny a 4th base again. I mean, again, 3 Broodlords not too scary. Vortix with a lot of gas in the tank, but not too much elsewhere. He finds himself a Zerg. He's going to try, Probe, he's going to try and get himself a cancel on this Nexus, which he does. Still delays his opponent's 4th base for a while he retakes his own 4th. A couple more Corruptors on the way out. Again, right now for him, it's all about just increasing that Broodlord count. I mean, 1, 2 Tempests take a long time to kill off Broodlords, so it's okay. When we see more than just 1 or 2 Tempests, then it's going to be a lot more difficult here for him to realistically fight. So we see this army is getting set up, ready to go once again. What is on the map for Vortix? 7 Hydras, where are they? Over in the main base to deal with Warp Prism. So 7 Hydras deal with the Warp Prism. They're going to deal with that very quickly. When 2 Zealots getting out here, so really well denied here by Vortix. But is it going to matter still? It's a large army pushing forwards, but are the Broodlords going to be enough? I feel as though, well, he's going to back away. He's not going to try and fight on into this, so he's going to back off. And we are going to see... Welmu's just going to transition away from this 3 base time, and some Zerglings just sneak away over to the right hand side of the map. Obviously something Vortix is very aware of now, and he does have units to defend against this, so shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. As the Lings will just run by the 4th and may just run into the 3rd base instead, or they loop around and come back home. 5 Broods now up, 3 more morphing in. Vortix is built back up to 55 drones, and He's still just about alive, right? But again, as that Tempest count grows, very slowly but surely here, Welmu gets into a position where he is able to fight against the army of his opponent much more easily. You know, he's going to have that Tempest count to really push his opponent away, and that's something which we've got to kind of keep in mind for him, as we're going to see these links trying to run by again. I mean, obviously, the whole plan for Vortix is basically just to try and distract, buy himself time. There's a very good wall-off over here. Actually, some of them Zerglings get through, so maybe it's not a very good wall-off. I mean, it looks like a very good wall-off, but not quite. The Lings get cleaned up, and I mean, Welmu's army just getting larger and larger. 6 more Corruptors coming in for Vortix. Now, does he make more Broodlords? I feel as though the Broodlord count is at 8 is a pretty good number. And I feel as though it's probably just about enough. So I feel as though these Corruptors now have got to be aiming to try and just take down these Tempests. So probably just mass Corruptor that's, you know, on the way for him. Maybe a little bit of stuff on the ground to stop the Archons getting forwards too quickly. I feel as though there's enough Broodlords. Let's see how this engagement's going to go. Welmu is obviously getting close to maxing out, and so he doesn't have much else to wait for anymore. I mean, he's got a couple more Tempests obviously on the way out, but, you know, obviously the longer he waits, the more time he gives Vortix. So getting close to max out, it's about that time where you might want to fight in. Observer here is going to see pretty much everything. You're going to see an Overseer coming in from Vortix too, just in case it's needed. As he starts to spread out, and yep, there we go. Them Tempests are going to work away from a distance. You're going to see Hydra's coming forward though, and actually them Tempests are out on their own a little bit. You're going to see Vortix getting some good damage onto those. Broodlords now coming in, the Corruptors. Gotta be careful. Broodlord's actually doing some good damage onto these Zealots initially. And, well, maybe he's going to have to be careful. Just have to kind of pull back a little bit here. As we're going to see the Zealots actually running by though, and this third base is taking a lot of damage. Is he going to be able to save that? Oh, it's not going to be saved, and that's Vortix. Losing economy once again, losing his gases mining here, he's losing the mineral mining. It's a lot of lost income now. It'd probably be worth starting up this extractor over here if he wants that continued gas mining. As he does move across the map though. We saw him last time in that start of that engagement, he got a lot of damage. He got a lot of damage onto 1 or 2 of those Tempests, and so something like that at the start could do a lot, as we're going to see Banelan's coming in to help deal with the Zealots, meaning that the Broodlords don't have to deal with as much on the ground. You see Welmu just moving in, Vortix moving into an aggressive position now. This is the sort of position he wants to be in. This is where he wants to attack. You know, he does want to attack, right? I mean, he wants to try and go for this now before this Protoss late game gets too strong. Because the later we go, the better this Protoss army really does just get. I was going to see 4 overcharges being popped. From going to see these few Bailings rolling on in as the Broodlords are starting to drop them chaired Broodlings. Here we go. Hydra's going to start targeting the Tempest alongside the Corruptors. And the Broodlords still in the skies doing what they can. The Tempest though target firing down those Broodlords, and they're still being one-shot here. This Vortix is just not quite going to have enough. GG. Welmu takes game in the best of 3s today, which is nice. Not just a one-sided series to get us started. As I'm going to go back into this. Let's introduce our players. The top left-hand side is going to be our red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Vortix. And down to the bottom right-hand side, it's going to be our blue Protoss player. It is Welmu. So in that last game, Vortix really just went greedy, you know? He went very greedy, and there's just no real way in which he could... There's no real way in which he could realistically defend that sort of aggressive timing from Welmu with what he was doing. He was being very greedy going into... I mean, think about it. He committed into Hive, double upgrades. He just didn't have the unit count. I mean, the Spines came in. The Spines were a big help. And the Spines were a lot of what made it as close as possible. He also... I mean, think about this. He had Spines, which made it a very good fight for him. He got very good Balin connections. The Phoenix did very little. He sniped the War Prism to stop further reinforcements. And he still lost. It was such a good fight, and he still lost. And that's just how greedy he was sort of being at that point. You just need to generally just, you know, if your opponent figures it out, then you need to sort of go into a few more units before you commit into kind of, you know, commit further. Something he could have done perhaps is maybe he could have, instead of showing the Hive in the main base, if he had his lair in the natural and then the Hive in the natural, maybe Welmu wouldn't have seen it. But then no reason that he may still have tried to attack, but he might not have attacked quite as quick. And then he might have just been a little bit too late, and Broodlords might have been out for that first attack, and then it's a completely different game. So this time around, we do see Vortix has opened up with what has been a very fast free hatchery before pool. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's free hatch before pool. So free hatch before pool, gas then pool. And then we see just an Adept coming in, just going to be trading against these couple of Zerglings to begin with, obviously. So Adept is going to be trading here with a couple of Lings, and then just going to be shading away at the same time as well, just getting away where possible. So Adept is doing a little bit of damage, and then gets away as we do see a couple more gates coming in from Welmu. Early on, then, it's not really been too much interesting. Now, these couple of extra gates, instead of the Stargate this time around, so Welmu begin to change things up here slightly. And I imagine... Well, yeah, he's got a couple extra gates on the way down. There we go, double Stargate. So, I was going to say, the couple extra gates means probably going to be a lot of Adepts early on, a lot of Adept pressure. And then a very common way to follow that up is going to be the double Stargate. And as Vortix comes in here, he's going to see them double Stargates coming down now. He's going to know that tech's a little bit late. And so you should know already there's a few gates at the front. And to expect some Adepts sometime soon. He's just going to come all the way through here with this overload. He's actually going to get some really good scouting with this. I mean, he sees everything. He sees the timing of the natural gases. Absolutely everything he might need to see. Thank you very much for the sub. Siege7041. If I'm saying your name correctly, please do correct me if I'm not. Thank you very much for the sub. Let's see some STI hearts in the chat, please, from you subscribers. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome to the War Disciples, the sub-team. Thank you, and welcome. As we do see the Adepts just shading on forwards here. Well, we're just having a little bit of a look to see what's going on, look to see what's happening. Not too much, though. Not too much over here, just a few queens out, a lot of lings, and Spock Rolls obviously on the way up for him to begin preparing against the incoming Phoenix from Welmu. So, a couple of Phoenix on the way up. You're actually going to see a couple of Phoenix just moving in towards and killing off the Overlord over to this right-hand side. So, Overlord does go down. You'll see some Adepts moving onto the map from Welmu as well. So, Adepts move out onto the map, killing off a Zerglin here, and these Phoenix just going to be moving over to the left-hand side of the map here, and again, just seeing what they can get up to. Again, with double Stargate Phoenix. So we talked last game a bit about how the Phoenix play only kind of killed off like 400 resources or so. You know, did 400 resources damage early on. Now as with one single Stargate. With a double Stargate, you're really hoping to get way more than that done. Although Welmu is only producing off of one Stargate right now, for whatever reason, he is deciding not to produce off of the second Stargate, which is a little bit weird. And we're going to see these... Phoenix coming in, lifting up a ling or two there. I'm just going to be, again, looking around and obviously looking for more and more damage. They're going to be looking for queen kills, a lot of overlord kills. Going to find one of those up to the top side of this right now. So an overlord going to be going down. And we're going to see the Phoenix coming in and actually lose one of the Phoenix. So, has to be a little bit careful. Obviously, lots of queens here and little moves like that. I mean, it's obviously you want to get damage done, but little moves like that, you do have to be careful. You don't want to overcommit at all, so do you have to be a little bit cautious. As we see Welmu just backing away over to the right-hand side. Now again, Vortix has stopped making drones at 54 here. He's not taking any extra gases. It looks as though he wants to go across the map with a whole bunch of Queen Ravager and just attack, attack, attack. As these queens are going to come in, they're actually going to start intercepting these Phoenix. And man, there's so many queens. At this point, Welmu's got to start to get a feeling that this is going to be something coming down this side of the map. I mean, the queens are all the way over here. These rocks have... sorry, that's the rocks. I was going to say, surely he hasn't already killed off the rocks. I was like, well, there's none here. And I just... don't see this side of the map too often or something. A few Ravagers morphing in, which will help bust through them rocks quickly. I mean, these Phoenix have got to be a key part of this. They've got to get in here. They've got to start helping. If they pick up Ravagers and take them down or whatever, they've got to start doing something. As we do see Welmu setting up some more pylons. There's double Robos over here as well. And see them Phoenix coming in. And I like this. The Ravagers pulling back from the Phoenix, knowing that if they get lifted, they're going to die. And that is something he doesn't want to happen. 3 more Ravagers morphing in right now. And as these rocks are going to fall, and well, a few force fields available. How does Welmu go about this defense? Right now, we're going to see Vortix just working his way through this next set of rocks and just making sure he has as much kind of surface area as possible to kind of move through here very early on. So we're going to see these rocks going down. And we are going to see the Sling Ravager Queen Army set, ready to go. Here we go. Attacking on forwards for another charge to be popped, of course. We'll just see the corrosive bowels coming down, taking down Empires. Oh my god, the Mothership Core falls, only 2 overcharges popped, so that's a big loss already. These Phoenix are sat in the back, they're not doing anything yet. Well, we're going to start pulling them in, lifting these Ravagers up. Queens transfusing them, keeping them alive in the skies. Them transfuses are very good so far. Welmu is losing a lot, and, well, honestly, Vortix is not really losing very much himself. As we see this army continue to push forwards, we'll see a couple more corrosive bars coming down on Immortals on those pylons, although the Ravager count is getting a little bit lower. These Phoenix still around, getting rid of these Phoenix. As these Phoenix go down, we do see Welmu kind of running out of kind of things, you know, the less lifts he has, basically, the worse this becomes for him, because the less he's able to take out of the army. If he builds the Mothership Core, that comes back in, but Vortix still just has so much here, and Welmu's actually made this a very close call. Vortix actually floating a lot of money that he's not spending just yet, as Zergling's run in to reinforce. Welmu will just type out GG. Doesn't have enough there, but made it very